What's going on, Jace? Oh, that's awesome. Countdown begins. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another reaction stream. It is Monday. I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Very chill weekend here, but I hope you got out there and did something new or tried something new, whatever. Hope it was good nonetheless. And you spent it with some good people. It's always good to spend time around good people, you know, whether it's family or friends or whatever. It's filling in a way. It's very I don't know, it just fills your soul. It feels good. But yeah, we've got 5 excellent videos today. Person of Interest was what we're going to start off with. I actually thought it was called Root, but that's actually the name of the video. Person of Interest, Gilmore Girls 911, and then we're going to do a PBS video, which if you're unaware, it's a public broadcasting channel here in the US. It's actually paid for by taxpayers. I guess that's what it is. It hosts things like, you know, some kids shows, and it had Bob Ross's Joy of Painting on there. I don't know if it still does, but that's how I watched it as a kid. And yeah, we're gonna end it with about a 30-minute Bridgerton video made by our own Luke, who is a Discord mod and also member of ToddReacts.com. And also a mod in the chat as well. Hope everyone's doing well. Hello, Rocco Kitty, Solar System, Jace, of course. Happy early birthday, Jace. Paid by viewers like us. Yes, indeed. It's going to be a fascinating week. Let's see. Oh, yes. If you would like to request your own videos, you know what's funny? I do this 2 times a week and I still get lost on the intro. That's amazing, isn't it? That's truly amazing. Oh my gosh. If you'd like to request your own videos, you can do so via the ToddReacts.com website. The season and series tiers are how you do that. Those are the requesting video tiers. And then if you just want to, yeah, professionalism indeed. If you would just like to watch the longer form content, you can via the episode tier. And then the preview tier, I don't know how to describe it other than, I don't know. It's like what are they called? Buskers? I can't remember. Buskers or something, where they have like a hat or like a box or something in front of them, and you just kind of throw change, a few dollars into it. It's basically that. There, if you would like. And while you're on the website, you might as well check out the summer collection It launched June 1st, and it'll be around until October 1st, where it switches over to the fall collection. We'll have some new items, as always. Bunch of new items. All three of these at the top are new. The polo, the jersey, the leggings got a refresh. They're a different brand. And these, you might notice this. The hoodie on the right. That is what I'm wearing currently. Comes in different colors. I don't know. I just enjoyed the white one. Although, definitely don't eat this if you're having any sort of red sauce or anything like that. Definitely don't wear it. But, yeah, I've somehow avoided that accident, which is surprising based on my eating habits. But go ahead and check out the accessories as well. There's a bunch of new stuff. Insulated tumbler. You see me drink out of it about 50 bazillion times a stream. Just a loose number there. Maybe give or take a bazillion. Tote. Mouse pads new. Water bottles new. I actually take this one to work. It's awesome. It's a Camelback. It's definitely spill proof. I've dropped it. That's just who I am. I just kind of one-man testing crew. I definitely dropped it. Thankfully, it was on carpet. Didn't spill. So there you go. I take it to work and enjoy it. And the only reason it's next to me right now is because I didn't go to work today. Let's see here. If you're watching in the VOD on YouTube, you might as well subscribe. You might as well subscribe. Here's the plea. Here's the usual plea for subscribing on YouTube. It's free. It's easy. It takes about 2 seconds. You don't have to use a Gmail account if you don't want to. You can just use it as a login, of course. Well, now that you said that, right. We'll have to get one to test if it's cat-proof. Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. That would be interesting. That would be an interesting video to see Freddy kind of go and attack it a little bit. Go ahead and subscribe on the YouTube channel. We crossed 12,400 subs. If you want to check it out and you've never been there, if you're watching on Twitch live and you've just like, wait, there's a YouTube channel? Yes, there's over 1,000 videos and climbing on that YouTube channel. Started 3 years ago. Figured out, oh, hey, if I stream this, it's a heck of a lot faster to get these videos out than to edit multiple videos a day. So this is the way of the world and the way of the channel for now. So go ahead and check it out. And just a heads up on that, I did grab the updated numbers from last month, and 87% of the watch time from last month was by non-subscribers. So here's a plea. Subscribe! If 87% of you subscribed to the channel, who knows where we'd be, honestly. This community might explode. Not physically, but, you know, emotionally. This channel would definitely explode a little bit. So go ahead and subscribe today. Let's get that number to 50-50 at least. At least. That'd be super fun. It's always interesting looking at that number because I'm just like, wow, that is so many people not signed in. But I used to be one of those people. I used to not have an account, you know. I just went by the algorithm. Just algorithm take the wheel. But eventually I was just like, you know, I really don't like losing track of people. And if the algorithm's just not taking favor to them or whatever, it just won't show up. And I'm just like, what the heck? Whatever happened to so-and-so? I used to watch them all the time. Gone, as far as I'm concerned. And then to find out they had still been posting videos and it just wasn't getting recommended. Just got weeded out somehow. I have no idea. But if you'd like to check out the gaming streams, we do gaming streams weekly, just once a week, usually. Right now we're doing Hogwarts Legacy. We just did part 5, as it was about 2 hours and 10 minutes worth, as you can see there. Put quite a few hours into there. I think 9 hours into that game so far. It's dual streamed on Twitch and the Todd Reacts Plays channel. So if you want to watch on whichever one you prefer, you can go ahead and do so. All of the VODs live on Todd Reacts Plays YouTube channel. As you can see, there's a playlist. The full Life is Strange playthrough is available, all 5 videos. As you notice on Twitch, it doesn't allow for a lot of VODs. It actually deletes them after about 2 weeks, which is very annoying. So the Life is Strange playlist on Twitch, I think, has 3 videos now because it already deleted the first 2. So if you're looking for all of them, there's the repository. It is the Todd Reacts Plays channel. We're up to 31 subs, which is awesome. And go ahead and join today. Check it out. And I'm not going to forget it. I'm not going to forget it. Go ahead and join the Discord. I feel like I should have like a sound effect there. You know, lights, everything. Lots of great people in there. I think we're at 114 members, if I'm not mistaken. It is amazing. Peach! If you want to know what that peach is, go ahead and join the Discord. You'll see it. And you will see a lot of people bowing to it. Just start bowing too. Don't ask questions. Just start doing it. You'll figure it out. It's an amazing area. It's an amazing community. Lots of great opinions. Lots of people that enjoy things that you probably enjoy. It is wonderful. It's wholesome. It's beautiful. Not a lot of places like this today. It's something I've thought about for a while. You know, we used to just have the Discord for members to request videos. And I'm like, wait a minute. We got a lot of people who enjoy a lot of things that are similar. Why don't we bring everybody together and just have this like cool hangout where people can be introduced to each other, and it's just amazing. So if you want to request a channel, something you're into, I'm sure there's people in there that are into just what you're into. You can request it via the Request a Channel. Bit redundant there. It does give you the schedule as to when these live streams are, which is super neat, and gives you a link. So it's all contained in this little Discord here. Updates from me. That's just if the stream is running late. Maybe I have to cancel it on the rare occasion. That kind of stuff. You'll just get the first inkling of any sort of news regarding the channel or the stream, etc. If you ever run into any sort of website issue or something, put it in the support channel. That's brand new. And that way I can contact the web developers and be like, hey, someone in my Discord, one of my members had this issue, and they can check into it and whatnot. Tons of amazing channels here. I'm not going to read through all of them, but you can check them out. Go ahead and pause the video if you're watching on YouTube. And amazing fun channels, memes galore, book club, adventures. What adventures are you going on? Food. What food are you eating? What are you eating? Huh? Tell me what food you're eating. I can copy you because it's probably going to look good. It's probably going to be tasty. If you have any amazing recipes, also put them in there. Movies. What movies are you watching? What do you think about the new releases, etc.? YouTube rabbit hole is exactly what it looks like. It is those videos you watch at 2 a.m. and you're just like, how did I get here? Where am I? Did the algorithm bring me here? Is this my psyche? What's happening? And a bunch of members channels as well if you become a member on toddreacts.com. And before we jump in today, I would like to give a special shout out to Rocco Kitty, who has very generously donated a annual subscription to YouTube Premium. What does that mean? That means it's going to save a lot of time in prep, honestly. And if there's any sort of like YouTube video that maybe someone suggests, or maybe it adds more context to what we're watching, I can bring it up immediately and not have to worry about ads or God knows what. So it's going to help tremendously. If any video had subtitles, I'll give you a little inside baseball here towards the process. If any video had like subtitles that was requested, I would actually have to screen record that video with the subtitles playing before the stream and just let it run for however long that took. And then edit out all the ad breaks and then save that video minus the ad breaks and then play it here on stream. So I literally had to record, edit a video, and then be able to play it. So it's going to get rid of all those steps. So I am tremendously humbled and just amazed at the community here. Rocco Kitty specifically, shout out to you. That's going to make stream much easier. It is absolutely cool. So thank you. I can't say it enough. Very humbling, very emotional. But yeah, that is huge. Absolutely huge. I didn't have time to set it up today because I was at work. But I will have it in time for Thursday stream, and which is just awesome. So cool. Especially, I think one stream last week, I had 3 videos with subtitles, so I literally had to edit 3 videos before I went live, which was probably why I was so late, honestly. Work all day, commute and rush hour, and then have to edit 3 videos. It was a lot. It was a lot. So this is going to help tremendously for the channel, and I appreciate it greatly. So let's go ahead and jump into that first video. Thanks for your time and allowing me to do that. It is Person of Interest. It is called Route So Far. I have no idea what this is going to be like. I really don't. I thought it was called Route, and I'm like, wait, it's not Route. It's Person of Interest.
If you can hear this, you're alone.
Oh, and if you're watching on Twitch, be sure to follow. If you're watching on YouTube,
the only thing left
be sure to subscribe.
Is the sound of my voice. A lot of people are going to be killed. And there won't be a damn thing anyone, including your machine, can do to stop it. You think I don't care about people, Harold? I'm doing all of this to save you.
So far from who I was, from who I love, from who I want to be.
When the machine speaks,
I can hear you.
you seem so full of life, purpose. But lately you seem lost.
I'm not lost. I'm scared. I thought I could sacrifice everyone. I really did. Win some, lose some, right? It's for a good cause, but it turns out I can't. I walked in darkness for a very long time.
I stand out here alone,
Until you guided me to light.
asking for too much.
And I wouldn't change any of it.
Far from being free.
But the life I've led, a good end would be a privilege.
Ooh, it is dark. Starting on a very somber note here.
This might be the first time I feel like I belong.
Oh, that's good.
Every life matters. All of this matters. We all matter.
Did she pull out the double pistol?
She taught me to value life,
Like
but
Tomb Raider style.
requires sacrifice. No! But if you meant something to someone, you were my safe place.
You are a brilliant woman, comrade, and a friend.
If you help someone, it's okay. I'm coming to you.
Dang. Yeah, it appears she was a hit woman.
You're loved so
Wow.
You can't live with me. I can't live without you. If even a single person remembers you. You're saying maybe someday? Maybe someday. And maybe you never really die. And maybe this isn't the end at all.
Rip.
Samantha Groves was special.
Wait, what?
She was capable of terrible things. But
Maybe
she
this
chose
isn't the
to
end
do
at
good.
all. Rip. Wow. Definitely don't want to get on her bad side. I'll tell you that. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw it some much deserved love. That was a excellent song choice for that. It was like a nice juxtaposition between the softness and deepness of the song. Of the song, and also just the sheer brutality that she was putting on display. It was just incredible. Oh my gosh. I do like the dual wield of the pistols. That's very cool. I haven't seen that very often. Maybe John Wick did that a little bit. I can't exactly remember, but I think it was just at certain points. But instantly what comes to mind was Tomb Raider, for sure. Samantha Groves. One day I realized all the dumb, selfish things people do, it's not our fault. No one designed us. We're just an accident, Harold. We're just bad code. Thing you built, it's perfect. Rational, beautiful, by design. What is she talking about? The thing you built. Oh, the machine. Oh my gosh. All I had to do was see that word, and then it kind of like jogged my entire memory of this. That's right. It's the AI. Main character and a highly intelligent computer hacker and former contract killer, known by the hacker name Root. Special relationship with the machine, as the only one to be in frequent and direct contact, acting as the machine's analog interface. When the government begins to doubt the machine's information, Root takes on both the relevant numbers and the task of bringing Samaritan down. Whoa. Whoa. Family connection, unnamed mother. Not a lot of backstory there. Life as Root. I see Root and I think of Groot. I think I'm just Guardians of the Galaxy on the brain for some reason. Skills and talent, I'm assuming weaponry. That's going to be a talent. High tolerance for pain. Skilled marksman, there we go. Having taken out 6 Russian hit squad members with 2 handguns, as well as taking out 2 members of Vigilance with 1 burst of machine pistol. Root's early mastery of the computer game The Oregon Trail shows not only her outstanding computer skills. Wow, I have outstanding computer skills? I beat The Oregon Trail once. Probably more than once. But a lot of people died on the way. You know, rip. Absolutely rip. Typhoid, you name it. Dysentery, took out half the crew. Near the end of Bad Code, episode Bad Code, she beats the official world record by nearly a factor of 2. The official world record is 85.47. Root scores 17,650, but also that she is able to manage tasks that involve the balancing, collection, and expenditure of resources. Hunting is also a very important component of the game, indeed, and it's also one of the funnest, honestly. Failure in a hunt can lead to starvation, while overhunting might lead to a lack of resources later in the game. Additionally, potential hazards such as weather and disease, typhoid, always typhoid or dysentery. Must be addressed, and no matter how one plays the game, it can be fatal. Furthermore, the game's scoring system was designed to give greater rewards for those who started the game with fewer resources. I didn't know that. I honestly did not know anything about the scoring at all. My entire goal was to just stay alive. And even that was difficult. Because it's such a balancing act, as it's said. You're trying to balance, when do I hunt? Okay. Am I pushing them too hard? Am I going too fast? Do I have to rest the oxen? Do I have to ford the river? Can I, cross it? All that stuff. Do I go around it? Like, it is just absolutely a thinking game. And it was so beautifully done. It was so simple, yet so challenging. Now I'm just going off on the Oregon Trail. Root blends into roles masterfully, having been special counsel's secretary and collecting information from him without suspicion for months, impersonating, assuming the identity of a psychotherapist, accomplished hacker, expert in counter surveillance. Root's object ID from the machine is Lady Killer. Well, I mean, it seems like a fitting title. Root's grave is marked with 050313. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Synadoke? 0 Day aired on 5/2/2013. At midnight on that episode, the phone rang and Root answered. Her grave marker is the first day she communicated with the machine. Oh, interesting. Root's Caroline Turing alias in Firewall, maybe a homage to Alan Turing. Probably. Real name Samantha Groves, might be a reference to Andrew S. Grove, former CEO of Intel. In the simulation where the machine was not created, Root, apparently known by her original surname once more, was working for Greer and Samaritan. He was tasked to take down Senator Garrison when he no longer proved compliant with Samaritan's goals. It appears that she is a lesbian or bisexual due to her attraction towards Shaw. Obviously, they didn't really go into it, if it just appeared. I'm assuming it didn't get very... Oh, disable ad blocker. How dare you? How dare you, TV line? I will not disable ad blocker. Person of interest bosses spills secrets behind episode 100's avalanche of grief and loss. Share one regret. 100th episode did a real number on fans, bookending a thrilling action sequence with 2 tragic blows. Having blown his cover identity by unwittingly frequenting the same cafe he visited with Grace 10 years ago, Finch was stashed away by Elias at a meth lab, protected by rival gangs. Alas, the gang's temporary truce did not go unnoticed by Samaritan, who dispatched agents to put a bullet in Elias's forehead and then grab Finch. Root and Reese, joined by Shaw, intercepted the car carrying Finch, after which Root whisked Harold away with Samaritan giving chase. Root would use some nifty gunplay and driving to neutralize the threat, only to later take a bullet meant for Harold, fired by Samaritan noob, Jeff Blackwell. By episode's end, Root succumbed to her injury, while the machine, now communicating orally, using, of course, Miss Grove's voice, sprang Harold from jail. Dang. We wanted Root to go out like a champ, frankly, not go out with a whimper. Co-showrunner Jonah Nolan. She goes out swinging effing hard. I like that. What a line by the showrunner there. Now that is cool. That is respect for a character right there. If you respect the character and what you tried to make it, you don't shy away from the death. You kind of lean into it. That is awesome. That is very cool. Here, Nolan and co-showrunner Greg Plagueman expound on the eventful milestone outing. For starters, why Root? Root has always implored Harold Finch to make his machine more assertive in this war, and now, faced with what they're up against, Root ultimately is the one who makes the sacrifice to save the father of the machine, and that's Harold. I think it's true to Root's character. Her first love was the machine. She always believed people were bad code. And more than anything, she wants Harold's machine to win the war. Her going down in this matter seemed apropos. I've never seen it spelled out. That's crazy. I'm glad I read that correctly. She did go down in a blaze of glory after making one of the sickest kills in TV history. Yeah, I was holding on to that one for a movie, but I decided Amy Acker was worth it. Oh, that's pretty cool. I couldn't tell. Did that guy in the SUV turret get decapitated, or was it he just conked on the head by Flying Hood? You know what? I'm still upset about this. We did have a dummy in place for a decapitation on CBS. Boobs, not so much, are allowed to be shown, but decapitations, potentially. But we ran out of time in the day. We also didn't want it to detract from the gigantic explosion of it all. Plagueman said, I think I was more impressed by her handling that sniper rifle and steering the wheel with her boot. Jonah and I felt very strongly that we needed to make this something that our daughters could aspire to. Nolan laughs. A real role model moment there. That's kind of funny. That sequence did not look inexpensive. Plagueman, that was the other big thing about this episode. Greg was prepping to direct 12, and the production team in New York had been very grateful that I was been busy with Westworld for a couple months, but this was an episode I had very strong feelings about, so I came back like a bad penny, and the early run budgets on this were like 400% over. Poor Greg was trying to prep his directorial debut, which is effing magnificent, and I was eating into his budget with the expansiveness of what we planned for Root's Bon Voyage. This Berserk Enterprise. Fred directed the episode after he also directed an episode of Westworld. Robbed a few banks, too, to get more money. He shot his last day on Westworld episode 6, jumped on a red eye, and was in his second day of episode 100. He was an absolute champ. He shot 2 killer episodes of TV, and we were in a constant contact. That's amazing. That is really cool. Number one, to be able to do that, go from Westworld to this show. But, oh man. Obviously on CBS, it's broadcast television here in the US. They're not going to be allowed to show a full decapitation. Like, it's not going to be like the 300 movie where they can just like, just explode people and all that stuff. But I'm sure they could have alluded to it, like shown like the last second, then cut away kind of thing. No pun intended. But yeah, that would have been interesting for sure. That's cool though. That's amazing that they were just like, you know what? This is an important character. We want Root to go out, blaze of glory, saving the day kind of thing. It's awesome. That is very cool. Let's go ahead and move on to the second video of the day, and that is Lorelai and Luke, You're Losing Me, obviously from the show Gilmore Girls. We've watched a few Gilmore Girls videos recently. It's been interesting. It's a show I never really checked out when it was on TV. But frankly, the edits that we've seen have been amazing. Really great relationships and kind of exploring that in certain situations, like Jess and Luke and Lorelai, and Just a lot of wonderful situations that, you know, people find themselves in, to explore those and really get in deep with it. It's just been really fascinating.
I thought this would make you happy. It's making you sad.
No, it's not. It's just I had to cancel a lot of stuff this week, a lot of June 3rd stuff.
What about eloping?
What?
Eloping, we can do that, right? Instead of planning this whole big thing.
I don't know, maybe. I guess we could.
Remember looking at this room, we loved it 'cause of the light. Now I just sit in the dark and wonder if it's time.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, one of my favorite things of this is the fact that it feels real. It feels very ordinary. It's not over the top.
I'm getting tired even for a
You know, they seem like a pretty standard family.
mending all her gashes.
Yeah, so we're not getting married. It's okay by me. I mean, you're the one who proposed in the first place.
I think we all know at least one Luke in our lives. Lorelai seems like a very nice person. Just trying to find her way.
Stop. You're losing me. I can't find a pulse. My heart won't start.
I think Rory's probably pretty
Hey,
relatable.
Hal, April is coming to the diner tonight from 5 to 8, so I'll see you here after 8. Okay, bye.
After 8. Yeah, that's what he said.
So I guess you two decided that you're not gonna see the kid.
Yeah, I guess we did.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have come with us to the gym. Nobody forced you to go.
I know.
I mean, it's Valentine's weekend, you know? How about we stop talking about the gym and the stupid basketball game?
Sure, okay. You know I love you, right?
I really need to hear that once in a
Oh,
while.
that's
I
relatable.
love you, and I'm gonna marry you, and at our wedding, we are having lobster.
Oh, that's
Caesar.
relatable.
Signals and bit my nails. Time to
Oh, wow.
3 o'clock tomorrow.
my face was
What did I say?
Guess her mother
It's
will pick her up
relatable.
around 7, so...
Right? So I'll pop up sometime after that.
Okay.
I'm just saying, let me be part of it.
No,
Why?
because it's too soon.
Why is it too soon?
Now you're running down the hallway, and you know what they all say. You don't know what you got until it's gone. Stop. You're losing me. Stop. You're losing me. Stop. You're losing me.
I feel so stupid. I really had myself believing it was gonna happen. The wedding, it's not gonna happen.
What?
Look, it's not like Luke was trying to introduce her to me. I walked in, they were there.
Yeah, right, okay. Luke, are you okay? I'm fine.
How long could we be a sad song till we were too far gone to bring back to life?
I just want her to, you know,
These
not
lyrics
be embarrassed.
match
I'm her
up
dad.
beautifully.
Impossible.
And all I did was bleed as I tried to be the bravest soldier.
There's one thing I know, it's Luke and Lorelai were very on again, off again. So these lyrics are perfect.
Staying at this party. And I wouldn't marry me either. A pathological people pleaser who only wanted you to see her. And I'm fading thinking.
You can't just take off and get married.
I'm not, Luke. Don't you love me?
You know I do.
But I love you, Luke. I love you. But I have waited and I have stayed away and I have let you run this thing. No more. I asked you to marry me and you said yes.
I'm trying to think here.
We fixed up the house, right? We have a bigger closet and I didn't get the purple wallpaper because you didn't want the purple wallpaper. And if it's between you and the purple wallpaper, I pick you. I pick you.
I didn't tell you not to get the purple
Oh
wallpaper.
my God, you didn't like
I
it.
didn't care about wallpaper.
Do you care about me?
Yes.
Because I'm going crazy here.
My heart won't start anymore.
Link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw it some much deserved love. Oh my gosh. The relatability there is off the charts. Very much like Roseanne. You know, they always said the big appeal to Roseanne is that it just kind of like mimics life for middle America. That was very relatable. The section where it was just like, hey, it's Valentine's Day weekend. Can we stop talking about the game or whatever non-relationship involved hobby or interest that you have? Or the gym, I think she said. That is so true. So true. Sometimes it's hard to like, you know, focus on, you know, what really matters. Obviously, if it's Valentine's weekend, you should be focusing on the relationship and, you know, spending time with your loved one and whatnot. But yeah, sometimes it can be kind of hard to get removed from your life and your interests and all that stuff. I found that extremely relatable. Extremely. Oh my gosh. So they were definitely on again, off again. It's something I remember. So that song fit perfectly. They very much show, I don't know, that's a very real situation of just maybe wrong timing, right person, and they just kind of keep finding their way back. I can't tell if it was due to like communication issues where it was like they just weren't, I don't know, communicating right, talking through their issues well enough, taking the other person's perspective and kind of coming together, coming into the middle and just going, hey, I could change this, you could change that. Let's try to do this better. You know, let's move on. That kind of thing. Or if it was very much volatile where you just immediately attack and then move on as if nothing happened, and then it just kind of explodes at a later date. No idea. But obviously they were having some sort of issue, as this page tells us. According to this page, they got together 3 times. Thrice. Lucky number 3. To present, which is good. Married. Ooh, reasons. Here we go. Luke didn't want to be treated badly by the Gilmores and Christopher was the first reason. Second reason, Lorelai broke up with Luke after he refused her ultimatum. The question is, what's the ultimatum? Kind of sounds like we heard possibly an ultimatum in that. It's interesting, though. So the first one is more Luke not wanting to be treated badly, which is good. You should stand up for yourself. You should have some standards and whatnot. Second reason, Lorelai broke up, refused her ultimatum. Maybe she was very much like, hey, we've been in this for a while. Are we going to progress? Are we going to do anything here? I'm assuming it was along those lines, because usually when there's an ultimatum involved, it's typically about next steps, engagement, marriage, etc. Luke and Lorelai meet due to, of all things, Lorelai's need for coffee. They become friends a few years later and have a bantering relationship, mostly based on Luke providing Lorelai and Rory with coffee and food. According to Lorelai, whenever somebody brings up romance and Luke in the same sentence. Eventually, the two start dating and both seem to experience, for the first time in their adult lives, a real committed relationship with someone they love. Although Lorelai is perhaps Luke's diner's best customer, Luke and Lorelai's relationship is platonic for many years. At first, Luke is just the guy that pours the coffee. However, he is consistently there for her as a loyal friend and Rory's surrogate father, while admiring Lorelai from behind the counter. Lorelai and Luke's friendship goes way back to before the series began. When Lorelai and Rory first moved to Stars Hollow. Appreciate the follow.
Just do it!
Appreciate the follow. Welcome, welcome. You will meet an annoying woman today, give her coffee, and she will go away. What? Luke is presumably attracted to Lorelai from their first encounter as is discovered that he has kept a memento from their first meeting years later. Wow. Handwritten Scorpio horoscopes. Lorelai gave to Luke 8 years earlier is brought out and mentioned during their first date, signifies Luke's commitment to the relationship. During the end of season 1, things become more than just friendly between Luke and Lorelai. After relying on Luke for support during Richard Gilmore's health troubles at Christmas, and when Rory's school project goes amiss, Lorelai begins to question how closely they have become. Just when things seem to be going somewhere, Christopher Hayden shows up in Stars Hollow, looking to have a closer relationship with Rory. The relationship becomes serious towards the end of season 4. The first step is taken by Luke after he listens to self-help tapes on how to love and recognize the woman you want. Oh my gosh. Sometimes it's hard, you know? Sometimes it's hard to realize, you know, either you want the person or who's the right person kind of thing. You know? It's very much one of those things that you just kind of, you got to feel. You got to figure it out. You got to feel it. Later on in the Gilmore Girls revival, we learn that Luke and Lorelai have had a stable relationship over the past decade, yet they have not wed. Emily refers to them as, quote, roommates, where Lorelai refers to her and Luke as, quote, partners. Lorelai begins to become detached from Luke, and he feels as if Lorelai is preparing to leave him. In the episode Fall, Lorelai does Wild, the book, not movie, to clear her head. She doesn't actually hike the trail, but she does have a realization that she and Luke should get married. She goes home after ditching her backpack and finds Luke in the kitchen. Lorelai tells Luke she needs to talk to him, but Luke insists they don't because he feels as if he knows what she's about to say. She's leaving him. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to find the, what's the ultimatum? I'm not exactly sure. If you know what the ultimatum is, put it down in the comments. If you're watching this later on YouTube, I would appreciate it. Gilmore Girls, Luke and Lorelai's relationship timeline. Actually, I might figure it out here soon. Timeline begins before the show it starts. All right, let's see if we can find it. Oh, welcome to the Discord. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoy it. Season 1, good friends, have flirty banter. I was not aware there was flirty banter. Guest introduction creates a tense relationship. Yeah, I'm sure it did. Luke and Lorelai's friendship becomes full of conflict. Oh my gosh. Lorelai thinks that Jess is trouble, and Luke doesn't want to hear it, leading to several arguments. Season 3, Luke has a new relationship, starts dating Nicole. Oh boy. Viewers can tell that Lorelai doesn't love that Luke is with Nicole, just like he hated when she was engaged to Max, but she focuses on Rory's last year of high school. Her plans to open up the Dragonfly Inn someday. Season 4, Luke realizes he's in love with Lorelai. That must have been an interesting build. Interesting build-up. Season 4 episode, Last Week Fights, This Week Tights. Luke and Lorelai dance together, and Luke realizes that he's in love with her. That's probably what this photo is. He knows that Lorelai is the one for him and that he doesn't have to be scared anymore. He asks her to go out with him, and fans definitely swoon, remembering this sweet moment. Relatable that Luke feels strongly about Lorelai for a long time, and it's really nice to see him finally work up the courage to ask her out. Season 5, magical first date, finally in the relationship. Spends season 5 dating. Oh, yeah, this is when he reveals that he kept the horoscope Lorelai wrote for him years ago. Season 6, they're engaged. facing numerous hurdles. Oh, okay. Here we go. Season 6, episode 22, Partings. Lorelai is tired of postponing their wedding and gives Luke an ultimatum. When Luke doesn't answer, Lorelai, she turns to Christopher for comfort. Oh, they were pushing it off and pushing it off and pushing it off. It sounds like Luke didn't want to set the date. And she probably just gave him, hey, either set it or I'm gone. Wait, it said first episode of season 4, Luke married Nicole. Season 4, episode 1, Luke reveals to Lorelai that he and Nicole got married over the summer. What? Lorelai attempts to confront Luke about his relationship with Nicole. Lorelai finds out Luke and Nicole are living together. This is getting worse by the second. Luke discovers Nicole has been cheating on him with I almost said with Lorelai. While Lorelai dates Jason in secret. Oh. Luke finalizes his divorce and Jason and Lorelai break up. And then Luke realizes he's in love with Lorelai. Oh my gosh. What an unbelievable chain of events. Season 4 sounds amazing. That was in, what, a couple episodes here? Oh my gosh. That sounds like the best season of the show. And then they end with their first kiss. Boom. That is a heck of a season. Oh my gosh. Season 4. Good eye, Jace. Good eye. That is probably one of the most entertaining seasons of the show, for sure. Final season, season 7, broken up and back together. Lorelai believes her engagement to Luke is over after sleeping with Christopher. Oh, she found the comfort in Christopher. Got it. Luke breaks up with Lorelai, obviously. While Luke focuses on although they're kind of broken up after that ultimatum. While Luke focuses on taking care of April, Lorelai starts dating Christopher. Luke calls Lorelai for help when April's sick. Luke asks her for help in getting custody of April. Lorelai and Christopher have a real talk about her feelings for Luke. Lorelai invites Luke out for the day with her and Rory. Sings I Will Always Love You during karaoke for Luke. Oh, I'm sure there was a few tears shed there. And see why Luke might be shy at the altar second time. Indeed. Oh my gosh. Oh, it has. Interesting. Wonder if, I wonder if it's something I can just see if I can do that. Might do something. All right. I think that might have done it. Not exactly sure. Let's try one of these. Boom. Oh, that was pretty quick. Seems to be fixed. Hopefully. Possibly. Season 7 is a sad one for Luke and Lorelai. After realizing Lorelai and Christopher still have unfinished business, Luke is heartbroken. He doesn't think that his and Lorelai's romance could withstand it. Year in the life, Luke and Lorelai are in a mature relationship. Ooh. Finally get married. Oh. Episode 2, Luke finds out that Lorelai has secretly been attending therapy and argues with her about trust issues. Lorelai tells Luke that she needs a break from him in the wild to think about her future, and then they get married. That sounds like a very confusing season. Argues with her about trust issues. I mean, he found out his wife was cheating on him. That makes sense that you'd have some trust issues. And why you would potentially put off getting married again. And then, there's Lorelai wanting to get married. I don't know how long it had gone on, how between like engagement and are we doing it? Are we picking a date? Are we just postponing it forever? I can see both sides on that one. Luke dragging his feet, Lorelai like, what's happening here? Are we doing it? Do we have to get re-engaged? How long has it been? Gilmore Girl fans are really glad to see the couple finally get married. It's been a really long journey to get there. They come to terms with the choices and mistakes they've made, and they know that it's time to make this commitment to each other. It does have a happy ending. Is it true that Lauren Graham, Lorelai, and Scott Patterson, Luke, didn't like each other while working on the set of Gilmore Girls? Yes, it's true, according to several sources, including Lauren Graham herself, that Lauren Graham and Scott didn't really like each other very much while working on the set. Actually, the friction between the two actors, according to some fans, made for a sizzling chemistry on screen. Not everyone agreed. Some viewers thought they seemed like a misfit or awkward. Obviously, this was a subjective opinion. Lauren Graham admitted she wanted Lorelai to end up with Christopher way back in 2005. As far as Lauren and Scott, they got along for the most part. They weren't just the BFFs the fans all dreamed them to be, at least according to Graham. It's fine. She told TV Guide of her relationship with Patterson, aka Luke. I think these characters have great chemistry that mirrors our chemistry as people. We're not intimates. In fact, when asked if she and Patterson are best friends, Graham gave a big fat no. Meanwhile, Scott told Glamour magazine in an interview in 2016 that he would have dated Lauren Graham. What do you think of Lauren when you first met her? Gives 2 thumbs up. I thought, let's keep this professional. Laughs. Let's keep it professional as long as possible and not blow up the show. Did it work? Yeah, because I knew it would go for a long time. I was seeing somebody anyway. I think she was too... And she probably wasn't interested in me. That matters little to me. Laughs. What? So yeah, listen, the whole thing just worked. The chemistry was there. Note, even though Scott is a Virgo, his time of birth is unknown. However, he has his natal Jupiter in Scorpio, and I would not be surprised if he doesn't have a snarky Scorpio in a prominent position somewhere in his natal chart. Want to know more about Scott's chart? Oh, anyway. Time heals all wounds. Whether you're on the set working with someone for several years or working with them in an office, people can rub each other wrong. I'm sure everyone has had teammates at work they wanted to strangle at times. Yes. Yet they worked well together for the majority of the time. True. Same could be said for Lauren and Scott, who acknowledged the incredible chemistry, physical chemistry, the two actors had on screen. Off screen, it was probably best they didn't hang out together since it might have completely altered how the Lauren and Luke relationship played out. Lauren and Scott both gave interviews related to the reboot, where they admitted they were both happy to be back doing the show they both loved from the past. Scott said, "Here's the deal. We were all more appreciative because we knew we were there for a limited period of time. It wasn't going to be 9 months. It would be 3.5 months, and there would be a chance this would be it. And there wouldn't be any more after this. When we got canceled, I was in Canada on a movie set. Nobody got any closure or got to say goodbye or anything. It was just like over. So we savored it more now." Lauren said Amy had so much material that she couldn't even fit it all in. I think there's plenty of room for more. I don't know. It seems unsubstantiated. I disagree with this. Apparently, Luke was only supposed to have 1 episode, which was the pilot, but the producers kept him as a main cast due to his undeniable chemistry with Lauren, as well as that Scott said in an interview when he first met, he was like, whoa, let's keep this professional. So I think he did have feelings for her. Maybe not reciprocated is what it sounds like. I think that's normal. Just because you're in a relationship on a show doesn't mean you have to be in a relationship in real life. Honestly, if they were awkward with one another, it probably just added to it. And it just made those tense moments where they're bickering or, you know, on the outs, probably just made those feel more real. That comment, what was it? It was that comment of Scott's when he was just like, and she probably wasn't interested in me. That matters little to me. Laughs. What? The whole thing was there. The chemistry was there. I don't know. That is weird. So he basically said he might have had a crush on her. And she kind of insinuated that, wasn't even best friends with him. So it's very professional on her end, I would assume. But that's certainly not the first or the last time. I mean, just in your life, you might have people you work with that you're just like, not the greatest. But you learn to deal with it, you know, because number one, you need a paycheck. Number two, it's just not worth it to get into fights and stuff like that, especially in a professional setting. I read during research the diner was originally going to be run by someone called Daisy. Lorelai and Daisy would have been very different. Indeed, it would have. Oh my gosh, yeah. I don't know. We've all had people in our lives who are just like, look, I don't particularly like hanging around this person, but I have to, so I'll just make the best of it. Maybe it was like that. I'm not exactly sure. But I think most people enjoyed the characters' interactions on screen, so maybe it didn't shine through. But it sounds like he thought they had really good chemistry. So whether that came across on screen, I think it did, just from the limited edits I've seen, that they were working quite well together. Maybe not the steamiest couple, but they were definitely there. And it seemed like people enjoyed their interactions, so. Next video is 911 out of context, except it's mostly Buck. Little forewarning, I guess. It's mostly Buck being out of context, which is probably very funny. Let's go ahead and jump into that.
What's our motto? Who cares? That's the one. That does not go there.
Why don't I just punch him in his face?
Can't punch him in the face, Buck. It's a snake.
Because only in one case is there underlying sexual tension. Anyways, I'm still taking.
You think so?
No. You want to go for the title?
I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing.
Oh, don't say faggot.
Maggot. You didn't kill him. We just wanted to. Fuck. I think he's behind it.
I couldn't even call you to bail me out of jail.
If that was something that happened.
No, pretty quiet.
Whoa! Did he just say?
No, sorry. I just said it was.
Don't say it again! Hold on. I don't know. Maybe if he says it a second time, it undoes the curse.
Maybe if he said it a third time, the Candyman will show up and kill us all. Let's not test the theory.
Fuck! Where the hell are you going?
I don't know if you've ever seen the redone Candyman, but it is fantastic. Definitely creepy, definitely a little scary, but I watched it recently, and one thing's for sure, I don't say the name very often. Okay? Someone else beat you to this? This is amazing.
Women flee you?
That's awesome.
Routinely? Can I ask?
Great minds think alike.
Hello, Eddie. Here are some popular coffee makers. Would you like to hear the reviews?
Welcome to the future.
Read the news, coffee making. Check the weather, coffee making.
Hey! Did you even stop to consider that you might hit a baby? Yeah, I didn't think so.
I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't even be mad. I would probably just start eating it.
God, jeez. I got you, Buck.
It's not me! It's me!
Where are we going?
To catch a thief!
To catch a...
What? We got you. Whatever your name is.
Chris drew this? That one's mine. I misunderstood the assignment.
I really thought this year was going to be different.
No, I mean, I'm an ally. Every Pride Month, I put a rainbow on my Instagram.
Unless that song was based in truth, I don't think it's ever actually.
That's still cringy.
And do you always sleep in the nude?
Catch. No, I don't think I've ever seen a man turn a woman off with such skill. Take it in.
Not anymore. He died. Isn't that great?
These beauty queens shrink. Are we suddenly giants?
I'm not really with them. I barely know these people. So.
Are you done?
Are you done?
Didn't go well. Why is she bleeding chocolate syrup?
Cuz blood thinner, boy.
Lesbians in bed.
Both in the army, both like watching men pummel each other.
It's the voice vibrato. It's just getting me.
The tiniest ladies I've ever seen.
Jump.
Excuse me?
So tiny. Bumped up the numbers, got fancy with the math. You don't know math.
Have no fear. LASD is here.
Eddie with the support. Always appreciate it.
Guess you can never have enough closet space. Ain't that the truth? Right, Evan?
You like Swan? Swan is the bomb.
Where are you supposed to be anyway?
I'm a firefighter.
So how come you're not out fighting fires?
We're everywhere, man.
Boom. Roasted.
Hey, Cap, you gotta see this.
Oh! Fuck, you alright?
Universe is screaming at you, and you refuse to listen. Universe does not scream.
What's going on? I don't like this.
Oh, you made him cry.
I interrupted book club?
Medical babies, women.
How long have you been leaning in the other direction?
Not specifically. I mean, sure, I'll check out a hot guy's ass, but that's normal.
It's not normal.
Wham bam, thinking.
You notice how you never hear anyone say wham bam, thank you, sir.
It doesn't rhyme. Proby! Have you seen Proby?
Oh, thought I might find you hiding in here.
Hiding? No.
So I'm your basketball beard. I feel so bonded.
So, might have noticed I almost died.
Ben.
What if I'm a completely different person?
Still a lesbian, right?
I'm dead.
Captain Robert Nash. This is your life. But it certainly wasn't that hair.
Yeah, Cap, what is this?
Hey, yo, Reaper. I really wish it was.
Okay, you wish.
Are you too drunk?
Absolutely. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Is Santa Claus gonna die?
Who hasn't said that at least once?
Not really Santa.
Just at least once.
Not real? Santa's pretend?
That's right. Fuck.
I just hate the forced date. It feels like I have to perform.
What are you looking for?
Oh, really?
Ring cutter.
You have one of those at home? For what?
Other
That's
stuff.
amazing.
What other stuff?
Good grief.
Yes! You are welcome. You are welcome. Ow, ow.
Playing sexy firefighter, Cap?
What makes you think that I was a firefighter?
Oh. Hey.
Hi, Captain.
Please don't ask me how I am.
It was just something we always fantasized about. Having sex in the front of a fire truck.
She's got a reservoir of Catholic guilt. Just lying dormant.
Well, they are public servants, so.
Like sea monkeys. Not.
I am stop.
Look at this thing.
Watch out.
Give me your gun.
I'm so confused. Can you start over?
Hey, I have one of those, and it's amazing, okay? I will go off on how amazing those things are. Little robot vacuums and moppers. Amazing. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw it some much-deserved love. That was an excellent video. Perfectly edited. Great comedy. Things taken out of context that could just be head scratchers. Like, wait, what? What are they referencing? Obviously, Buck was in that a lot, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. That frickin' ally conversation on that date is just so cringe. Oh, gosh. You don't even have to take that out of context. In context, it's still cringe and funny. Oh, Lord. Let's go ahead and bring up some character bios. Just to kind of get a little bit more information on everybody. Let's go ahead and move. Do I have to move this just a little bit? All right. Kind of leave it like that. It originally started airing in 2018, so it's been around for a little bit. 7 seasons. Go with the main cast. Obviously, Athena. Got Bobby, Buck, Hen, Chimney, Maddie, Buck's sister, Eddie, Chris, a.k.a. Eddie's kid, May Grant, Harry Grant, Albert Hahn, Michael. Obviously, a lot of relatives here. It's Abby. I haven't really looked at this page. Oh, here we go. Season 8 started filming today. Oh my gosh, really? Good to know. Athena, Patrol Sergeant. Married to Bobby. Mother of May and Harry for her first marriage to Michael Grant. Tina left her home in Florida for LA to become a police officer as a result of the failed investigation into the murder of her friend and neighbor, Tanya. Murder she helps to solve 45 years later. That's unbelievable. Extremely independent. Bobby, what? That hairstyle is radically different than the one on the show. Captain of Station 118, recovering alcoholic. Lived in Minnesota with his wife, and 2 children died in a fire caused by a faulty propane heater, which he had been using while he was drunk in an empty apartment, the building they were living in, which additionally was not up to code, and blamed himself for it. For their deaths and also 145 other people in the building. Oh my gosh. I forgot the 145 others. Originally planning to commit to ending himself, is what we'll say. After saving 145 lives as atonement, his friendship, camaraderie with the members of 118, and his blossoming relationship with Athena helps him put his demons to rest. Also the resident chef. Although Athena runs him a close second. Got Buck, Maddie's younger brother. Joined the LAFD after a series of jobs in various parts of the country. While he can be impetuous, wow, what a word, to the point of recklessness, while in the field, he is dedicated to his job. Dysfunctional relationship with his own parents, he sees and trusts Bobby as a father figure and the members of the 118 as his family. He convinced his sister Maddie to join the 911 emergency dispatch, introduced Abby's mother's former caretaker, Carla, to Eddie, and has become sort of uncle to Eddie's son. Buck was an uncontrollable womanizer at first, but after meeting Abby, he started looking for serious relationships. Eddie, firefighter and Christopher's father. Served in the Army, combat medic. Becomes best friends with Buck. Formerly married to Shannon, single father. Christopher and him moved to LA to escape his parents, who viewed him incapable of caring for his son. Good grief. That's got to be awful. Your own parents just criticizing you over how you're raising your kid and think you can't do it. I mean, good. Ugh. That sounds awful. I can't blame him. Named Buck to be the legal guardian of his son in his will in the event of his death. Hen is a firefighter and paramedic, married to Karen. Together they have an adopted son named Denny. Biological son of Hen's former partner, Eva. Originally a pharmaceutical rep. Left that job and joined the LAFD as a paramedic after saving her life coach with CPR. Finally accepted at Station 118 shortly before the misogynistic captain was replaced and became partners with Chimney. Was originally in an abusive emotional relationship with Eva, but after Eva was imprisoned, she met Karen via a blind date. Chimney set her up. Wow. Okay. I'm not going to lie. The idea of a blind date sounds terrible. Never done it. Would never want to do it. That is just, oof. Something about that is just anxiety inducing. Allowed to return to medical school, but eventually quits in season 6, preferring to remain a paramedic. Interim captain in Bobby's absence. Chimney, let's see. Never realized Eddie and Shannon were 19 when they married and had Chris. Knew they were young, but damn. Yeah, that's true. Eva went to prison on drug charges. Reason why he's nicknamed Chimney and how he got the nickname is a closely guarded secret, and the date has not been revealed. That's interesting. It's kind of a little mystery written into the show. I'm sure eventually they'll release it, but very testy relationship with his father, especially after the elder Mr. Han openly expresses his disappointment in Chimney's chosen profession. After his mother's death, Chimney was raised by the Lee family. His mother and Mrs. Lee were best friends and looks on them as his family. Chimney didn't tell Han about the date. She was waiting to meet with Chim. Oh my gosh. Sprung it on her. Oof. Oh my gosh. That's rough. Because what if you showed up just in like normal regalia and you're just like, yeah, whatever. And then you realize it's a date and you're just instantly frozen with fear. Like, wait, what? Let me go home. I gotta change. Season 6, he and Maddie and their daughter move into a house together. At the end of the season, they get engaged and are later married in the 6th episode of the 7th season. Maddie, a.k.a. Jennifer Love Hewitt. Not surprised that picture was chosen. 911 operator, Buck's sister and Chimney's wife, originally a nurse at Boston Hospital. Buck was instrumental in helping her get a job as a 911 emergency dispatcher. Recently, Chimney had encephalitis. I am so glad I was able to pronounce that. A brain disease and lost some memories, including why he's called Chimney. Oh, really? Dang. That is too bad. Is it still being kind of slow? Let me see if I can... You know what? Let me... I think I'll just turn it off and then turn it back on. Let's see if that works. Boom, it's off. Boom, it's back on. Okay, maybe that worked. Let's give it a try. All right. At the end of season 3, she finds out she's pregnant. Wow. With her and Chimney's child. In the conclusion of season 4, due to her various emotional traumas after giving birth, Maddie quits her job, and in season 5, due to postpartum depression, she leaves Chimney and their baby because she doesn't think she'd be a good mother for the baby and travels back to Boston to enter a program. Oh, wow. She and Chimney are reunited on St. Patrick's Day, and she returns with them to L.A., where she resumes her job. After she and Chimney get back together at the beginning of season 6, she proposes to him at the end of the season. The two are later married. Wow. Definitely some emotional stuff going on there. Maddie's abusive ex, Doug, was played by Jennifer Love Hewitt's real husband. Oh, whoa. That's interesting. Dang. That'd be kind of, I don't know how you'd be able to do that. I guess, well, you'd have to be a really good actor. Well, both of them. Be able to pull that off and make it believable. Gavin is Christopher Diaz, Eddie's son, born with cerebral palsy, who is not affected, which has not affected his intelligence. Philip develops a relationship with Buck to the point where Eddie officially makes Buck Christopher's legal guardian in case of anything serious happening to Eddie. At the end of season 7, he leaves to live with his grandparents in Texas upon learning of Eddie's affair with Kim. Whoa. Dang. May Grant, Athena, and Michael's daughter, graduates high school at the end of season 3. Becomes a 911 operator in season 4. Leaves the dispatch to pursue a college education in season 6. Harry Grant. Not much to say. Albert Hahn, Chimney's half-brother, secretly left South Korea to escape his father's authoritarianism and came to L.A., stayed with Chimney for a while after a rocky reunion, then with Buck after Maddie moved in, was involved and seriously injured in a major freeway accident but was rescued by the 118, joined the LAFAD, and became a full firefighter at the end of season 4, but later quit. Kim is Shannon's doppelganger. Eddie is not in a good place. Ah. Dang. That is not good. Abigail Clark, Abby, leaves at the end of season 1 to travel the world following her mother's passing. Oh, that's right. She never returned to LA until season 3 finale to give Buck closure, becoming engaged and living in Arizona. I'm assuming Connie Britton was one of the actresses they brought in to bolster the show in the beginning, because that's a big name. She was in Friday Night Lights on Fox for years, seasons. Obviously been in some movies and whatnot. The chat is getting slower. Oh my gosh. That is not good. I don't know what's happening. Obviously, I'm going to work on that for the next stream. Dang. That's so odd. So if I turn it off and then reconnect it. Maybe it's an issue with the restream. Not sure. What if I do a test here? Test. Wow, it's like instant for me. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, that's weird. It just shows up instantly for me. I don't know why that's happening. Connie Britton didn't want to sign up to a new multi-season, hence why Abby's splitting at the end of season 1. Yeah, that makes sense. Big name. Obviously had probably many other offers and whatnot. So for her, it was probably just nice to, I don't know, get into the show, see it off in a way. And for the showrunners, I'm sure they were just happy she said yes. Because that's certainly one of the main draws. I mean, she's been in a ton of stuff. Yeah, Friday Night Lights for a lot of seasons for the same network, so they knew her. She knew them. Yeah, she was nominated for 2 Emmys during that, from 2006 to 2011. She was in American Horror Story. Nominated for an Emmy again. Nashville on ABC for a couple years. Nominated again for another Emmy. Golden Globe. Good grief. Yeah. I'm sure she was one of the big names that they brought in to kind of like bolster the show, just to make sure it stuck with people. Maybe people watched because of her. You know, they saw her in all these different shows, saw that she was nominated for awards and whatnot. But yeah, that's not surprising. Says she did do a guest appearance or whatever. Yeah, guest appearance, came back. It makes sense. Very cool. Very interesting. That was a lot of information on the cast. 15 best episodes ranked of 911. This article's been updated with most of the best episodes since there can't just be 10. Jinxed runs the 118 in circles. Season 4, episode 6. Disaster. The episode, the 118 fire engine is stolen. Remains at the bottom of this list due to the lack of grand scale disasters, but is still higher than many other episodes because of its ridiculous Groundhog Day nature. Yeah, Ryan Murphy had her in American Horror Story. He's a showrunner for 911, so we got her for it. Oh my gosh, that makes sense. I didn't even put that together. American Horror Story is a Ryan Murphy. Yeah, he seems to hold on to people, or at least, you know, remember them and like, hey, would you sign up for this too? Because, you know, you're a decent name. And that kind of makes me think that Spencer from General Hospital, Nicholas Chavez, is going to be used in a lot of Ryan Murphy stuff going forward. I mean, it's already 2 at this point. So the chances of him coming back to General Hospital, not high. Mayday opens up a pandemic conspiracy. Dispatch center is set on fire. And realizes that Claudette's death might not have been an out-of-the-blue accident. Ooh, cliffhanger. Also how he got Angela Bassett for 911. Yeah, I mean, that's going to bring in Angela for sure, is bringing in viewers. And I think if I remember correctly on that first episode, the pilot episode of 911, Connie Britton was in like a lot of scenes. A lot of scenes. So it makes sense that, you know, bring out the big guns. Bring out the big guns, the big names when you start off, just to try to capture an audience. Survivors sees sparks fly around Buck and Eddie. Sniper shoots Eddie and other firefighters. I'm sure that was tense. Absolutely tense. What a crazy photo of Buck. Whoa. Eddie Diaz being gunned down by a sniper. Nothing was more shocking. In the aftermath, Athena and the 118 take precautionary measures to take down the mystery sniper. Obviously puts him in an existential crisis. Eddie Begins goes back to Eddie's origins. I'm sure that's crazy intense too. Young boy falls down a well and Eddie's helicopter is shot down in the middle of a war zone in Afghanistan. Oh, wait a minute. Is that a play on Batman Begins? Wait, what? Young boy falls down a well. And it's called Eddie Begins. And that's literally what happened in Batman Begins. A satisfying episode for both the fans and Eddie. Fans finally learn the true reason why Eddie won a silver star, and Eddie realizes the true potential of his life that he's been so careless with. The taking of Dispatch 911 shows no one's safe. 911 dispatchers are taken hostage by a gunman. Wild, heart-pounding, and emotionally riveting. This episode is one of the more crafty and intelligent episodes to reach its end point. Number 10, Defend in Place, mixes 911 with Grey's Anatomy. A hospital catches on fire. Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's funny. All the characters have a buck begins, hen begins, Bobby begins. Oh, interesting. Events in Defend in Place play out exactly like this. However, despite relying on cliches that bump the episode down on this list, it still feels incredibly tense and emotionally satisfying. While everyone's busy caring about their own survival, David makes a case for himself as one of TV's greatest ever doctors by insisting on finishing a surgical operation first. Ocean's 911 draws inspiration from the heist genre. 118 are accused of pulling off a bank heist. 911 plucks some critical elements from Steven Soderbergh's critically acclaimed heist movie Ocean's 11, which was a great movie, by the way. I think I liked all three of those with the original casting. They weren't bad. They got maybe a little overdone, the fact that he did three of them. But I did enjoy them. I mean, they're just kind of one of those that you just plug in and you just kind of forget the world for a little bit. You're just generally entertained. You're not really thinking about it too much. But the first Ocean's 11 was fascinating. I just remember when they were showing how they set up the heist at the end, I was just blown away because I had no idea what was going on. I had absolutely no idea. That was just so wonderfully written. I mean, obviously the cast is wildly good, but it just had everybody in there. Typically, the first responders get to save the day and go home. However, in this episode, they get accused of conducting a heist after attending to an emergency at the Pacific Federal Bank. One episode's a season has parallels to a movie. I did not know that. That's it. I love that. That's awesome. Just trying to figure out which one it is, you know? Worst Day Ever showcases Angela Bassett's raw talent. Plane crashes in the ocean. Angela Bassett gives a powerhouse performance. The Taking of Dispatch is the Taking of Precinct something. Oh! Assault on Precinct 13 with Ethan Hawke, probably. And Lawrence Fishburne's in there. John Leguizamo's in there. Yeah, that was an excellent movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Although that's, again, one of those that you just kind of turn your brain off. You just kind of enjoy. Just let it unfold and don't think about it too much. Worst Day Ever specifically focuses on efforts to evacuate passengers from a plane that has just crashed near a beach. During the events, Angela gives a powerhouse performance. Show has often been accused of underusing Bassett's Oscar-winning talents. But in the season 1 episode, she proves why she is one of Hollywood's celebrated names. One particularly memorable scene, Bassett's character Athena gives a powerful monologue at the airport, which she rips into fellow officers and airline executives. You're telling me that you're taking orders from CEOs, an industry whose motto is the customer is always the moron? That's amazing. And poignant, because right now they're having a lot of issues at the airports. I don't know if you've been reading up on that, but whoa. Lots of delayed flights, canceled flights. I read somewhere someone's been in an airport for 4 days. Good grief. Heartbreaker shakes up Valentine's Day, season 1, episode 6. Speaking of Connie Britton, right there. Buck chokes while on a date with Abby. Well, that's right. 911 never relies on joy and laughter to entertain viewers, and for its Valentine's Day special, the show goes even darker by showcasing all kinds of scenarios that can go wrong on a day meant to celebrate love. Interestingly, a good number of them revolve around health complications. Yeah, they even say Friday Night Lights, Connie Britton. That's one of those shows, I think I've seen it twice all the way through. Like, I don't do that very often. So for me to watch a show all the way through twice. That says a lot about it. Buck has the worst first date ever. Oh my gosh. Fight or flight puts an end to Maddie's suffering. Ooh. Doug kidnaps Maddie. A scene where he shoots a gas station attendant mirrors one from the Coen brothers' masterpiece, No Country for Old Men. He also harms Chimney, but aims to trace and punish his estranged wife, Maddie. However, the new Maddie is not to be messed with. As Athena puts it, Maddie didn't just rebuild her life, she rebuilt herself. Doug may have her, but I don't think he knows who he's dealing with now. It's a promise of things to come. When the two lovers confront each other in the dying minutes, she fights for her life and ultimately comes out on top. Abby gives him an emergency tracheotomy in the restaurant. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's brutal. Desperate Times, episode 5, number 5. Desperate Times displays the 118's familial bond. Let's see. Citywide blackout leads to escaped zoo animals and Harry Grant getting kidnapped. Desperate Times is a powerful hour of television, and true to the title, everyone finds themselves in a desperate situation, whether it's Hen and Bobby facing off against a rabid alpaca, Maddie struggling with postpartum depression, not funny. Several moments call for franticness. However, the tensest events unfold with Athena's son getting kidnapped, and May figures out how to get a young boy's ventilator running after running out of batteries. After all, there happens to be a citywide blackout as everything is going on. Oh gosh. Viewers are used to seeing Athena take care of others, but for once she is forced to attend to her own emergency. Part of the episode is every member of the 911's first responder team working together as a family, putting Desperate Times pretty high on the list. Sink or swim is one of television's greatest natural disasters. Tsunami hits LA. Outdoes many iconic natural disaster movies when accurately portraying anguish. Christopher and Buck are among those who find themselves in danger when an unexpected tsunami ravages the Santa Monica Pier. Sounds funny, but I know someone with an alpaca farm, and when they go rabid, it's bad. I honestly think I need to pull up a video. Let's see. Let's see. Alpaca dies of rabies. That's not what I want. Berserk male syndrome in alpacas. Ooh. Let me see if... you know what? I don't think this is... No. What the heck is this? It's a TikTok, but it's just photos. Come on now.
Today I'm going to talk about Butch Cassidy, who has abnormal behavior syndrome, ABS. We also call this berserk behavior. Teeth. Because berserk males can become extremely dangerous towards humans, you have to be careful because they will run through a field to attack, rear up on their back legs, come down to stomp and bite, and they certainly can inflict serious injury or even kill. I might have mentioned...
Kill? Whoa. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. Whoa. That is... I've seen nasty scars from berserk male syndrome. Really? Huh. I am flabbergasted a little bit.
Mentioned this before, but because they're so dangerous and there really is very little opportunity to rehab them, most berserk males are euthanized. But I do want to mention that Butch and Sundance came from a very poor situation. They were raised as young alpacas. They were never castrated. They were kept in an enclosed barn
Oh,
with pigs
my
with
gosh.
limited outdoor pasture area. We were able to integrate Sundance into
Nice
the male
hairstyle,
herd.
though.
However, we were never able to integrate Butch. This is an example of the behavior that he demonstrated when we tried to put him in with other males. And again, he injured several, tearing Mr. Galactica's ACL, and also came down and attacked me and bit me in the back of the head very seriously. So these are not to be taken lightly. Berserk males are very, very dangerous.
Oh!
As a sanctuary,
That was a terrifying sound. Oh my gosh.
not to be taken lightly. Berserk males are very, very
You know the sad part about, or the scary part about that, is just watching the shadow get close.
dangerous.
Whoa. As you saw, it raised its front, like, feet.
Very, very dangerous.
Like, kick. Whoa. That is crazy. Well, that was a rabbit hole. Oh my gosh. Don't mess with alpacas. Everyone wants to survive and save as many lives as possible. A scene where Chris places Buck on top of a fire truck to prevent him from sinking is especially heartwarming. Chimney begins as a standout for Kenneth Choi. Chimney struggles to stay alive after being stabbed by Doug, while an apartment fire ends the life of Chimney's best friend Kevin in a flashback. One of TV's most beautiful flashback episodes, and what makes it more touching is the fact that the story is told while Chimney is nursing his wounds for being stabbed by Maddie's abusive ex-lover. The One That Got Away slows things down for a retired hero. Deaf woman is trapped in an apartment fire. One That Got Away is all about the values of friendship as it traces Buck's bond with a retired firefighter named Red. Buck is extremely lonely after Abby's exit. While his new buddy makes him feel better, he also makes him realize some harsh realities. Red's former firefighter friends no longer care about him. He now happens to be sickly and lonely. Oh gosh. Buck morphs from a cautious person into a daredevil. For once, he speeds into a burning building without thinking about it twice. And then number one is just the beginning of Los Angeles tragedies. Earthquake nearly destroys a high-rise building. What results is an hour full of improvisation and inventiveness. Eddie and Buck build the buddy ship by attempting to save a condescending boss and his employees from a collapsing hotel. If the chaos isn't enough, events end with a cliffhanger. All of these moments make the best 911 episode ever to air. And that's season 7, episode 1? Or no, season 2, episode 2. Excuse me. Oh, it was a 7.1 earthquake. There we go. That makes sense. Good grief. That's unbelievable. Wow, that alpaca video. Scary. I was not expecting it to be that terrifying. But, wow. Because they have tiny mouths. Does that seem like a weird comment? When I look at an alpaca, most of it's body, and then long neck, and there's just like a tiny little mouth. So you don't think it's going to be that, brutal, but wow. I did not realize that was a thing. Okay, I'm looking at alpacas a little differently now. A little more cautious. A little less, oh, it looks adorable. It's just a little fluffy giraffe. Well, shorter, but you get my drift. Let's go ahead and move on to the next I almost said episode video. A Brief History of the Future, coming soon. This is a short little documentary put on by the PBS about a show, I'm assuming, that's coming soon. Talking about the future, which honestly at this point, kind of scary. Technology, who knows where it's going to take us. AI, all that kind of stuff. We've made a lot of leaps in quite a short period of time. I mean, if you think about it, the refrigerator, that came out mass quantities to the public where they could actually buy it and have it in house. I think in the 50s, maybe people had it before that, but it was so expensive that you had to have decent income or money to be able to afford it. Televisions are not that old when you think about it. Radio even. We have gotten to the point of just unbelievable technological advancements in the last 50 years, 100 years, if you look at the grand scale of things. So is it going to just continue going? I think, it's going to be more towards artificial intelligence, I think, because there's only so many technological advances we can make in phones. I think the smartphone right now is in kind of the heyday. It's already peaked and it's just kind of slowly going down. If you notice, every year over year, smartphone innovation's gone down tremendously. Because I think the product is basically at its peak, or it's past its peak. There hasn't been a lot. I mean, VR headsets, AR headsets. We had the Apple, what the heck is that even called? Vision Pro, which is basically just AR, VR. That has really died off. It didn't sell very often, or it didn't sell very much just because, number one, it was crazy expensive. But number two, once you've used one of those for a little bit, I have a Oculus Go, which is a very rudimentary. It's one of the cheaper ones that you could have gotten. Oculus was bought out by Meta, so all the Meta ones are built off of the Oculus technology. And one thing I found about it is the fact that, yeah, it's cool, it's interesting, but then after you've used it for a couple weeks, the novelty wears off. You start to think wait, why am I using this? I could use my laptop or an extended monitor or my phone, tablet, whatever. At a certain point, you're just this battery doesn't last very long, even though it has a little pack that you put in your pocket. It doesn't last very long. This thing gets hot. I get these rings around my eyes. I start to sweat. I have to take it off to wipe sweat away. It's not comfortable. It's not fully flushed out yet. In the future, will it be glasses that you put on? Maybe. How are you going to power it? I don't think we're at that point where it's anywhere close to necessary or even useful in any capacity. At this point, it's basically just a big iPad that you attach to your face. And there's not a lot of use cases for it yet. Or at least for the mass public. So, yeah, I don't really see a lot of technological advancements in hardware right now, but software, AI is kind of the sky's the limit. Are people kind of fearful of it? Yes. I think they're right in being fearful of it. But, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be too bad. Hopefully, maybe. We'll see.
One moment, please.
How well we live tomorrow will depend on the action we take today.
When you hear the term the future, what does that conjure up? Human activity has damaged the systems of life that sustain us all.
We're seeing drought, wildfires, flood.
We could commit ourselves to extinction, or we could commit ourselves to a civilization in which human beings can continue to thrive.
Civilization is precious. Life is precious.
I set out in search of people who are building better futures.
Humans are extraordinary. We're such a miracle.
The land is resilient. We are resilient.
Fusion is really the holy grail of energy.
This is the largest 3D printed community in the world.
I have to know where I came from so that we can move forward.
What does it mean to be human at this moment in time?
To care.
Boy, that really blows my digital mind.
We've got to believe that there's a better way.
Where people have clean air, clean water, available food, cheap, abundant energy.
The big shared human projects, confronting climate change, staying a step ahead of the next pandemic, preventing nuclear conflict, will require cooperation.
Good luck with that.
For success. We are one team, the world.
Using human innovation and the brain that we can unlock, our problems will dissolve overnight. That's so important, Ari. Here. This.
People are building better futures for themselves and the communities around them.
This sustainable building is the cleanest power plant in the world.
That's really cool.
The roof is an alpine ski slope.
That's so cool.
What we do and the things we create over the next few decades.
Is that Grimes?
Will shape all minds going forward for the rest of time.
Hundreds of years from now, we are going to look back on our generation as the most pivotal in human history.
I mean, certainly one of them. Certainly one of them. I wouldn't say the, because I think, you know, invention of fire, wheel, indoor plumbing, air travel. I mean, those were pretty awesome. Those were pretty amazing. I do think within this generation or the next, or somewhere within this, I don't know, 1,000-year period, human existence is going to change quite a bit. Whether that's, you know, how we interact with each other, how we produce families. I think there's going to be a lot of test tube babies kind of stuff going on. Clones, maybe. AI taking over pretty much every job, almost all the jobs. We're going to deal with, I think, very soon, within 50 years, we're going to deal with a lot of layoffs, like a lot, like millions, like 100 million, maybe more, of people that are just out of work because they don't have the necessary skills to compete with AI. I think certainly behind the scenes, companies are instituting AI and researching it to the point where it's going to be a lot of people at the top and just a bunch of AI programs to do the rest of the work. Unfortunately, I think that's coming. Nobody's going to talk about it because they don't want to put people into panic. But kind of reading the tea leaves on that one, it's being instituted in more things. If you ever use Snapchat or Instagram or Facebook, you'll notice that AI has been instituted in the search results. It goes without questioning, how else is it going to be integrated? Is it going to be integrated behind the scenes? Going to start taking over jobs? Maybe. Potentially. Is it a good thing? You know, it's one of those things where you don't want to be a Luddite, aka someone that's against advancement and technology and whatnot. But you also don't want tens of hundreds of who knows how many people losing their jobs overnight, and then they're just, what do they do? Where do they go? Where do they live? Very scary. Kind of scary times right now. Not exactly sure where the world is going to go. Obviously, the world is still a dangerous place. I'm trying to talk about this without getting political. As you can tell, this channel is not really a political one. I try to stay far away from it because this is a little respite. I wanted a little section of the internet that we can just kind of hang, enjoy, talk about fun stuff, that we all enjoy. And leave the other serious topics to other channels and the news and all that stuff. That you can find that a gazillion places. But it's getting increasingly harder to just find entertainment. I don't know why politics or the news or everything else has kind of bled into everything that's kind of meant to be escapism. I like escapism. I like disappearing from that world. Reality every once in a while. So if you're into that, join up, subscribe, all that good stuff. That's basically the goal of the channel, is to make this into a escape, a little paradise, a little slice of utopia amongst the chaos. But you know what this did remind me of? By the way, link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw it some love. That was a very interesting concept. I enjoyed it. I do like thinking about the future and how terrifying it might be or how cool it might be. And what it reminded me of was this Down to Earth with Zac Efron. It came out to Netflix in 2020. There was 2 seasons of it. I think it was fantastic. Zac did a great job. I was not surprised. I was not seeing this coming. Like, this was a total surprise. But Zac Efron and superfoods expert Dan Olian travel the world in search of the secrets to good health, long life, and a higher level of eco-consciousness. Adventure, laughs, and goat milking ensue. This is a binge-worthy travelogue, food odyssey, and eco-warrior series that takes the star out of his comfort zone and into the far corners of the world. So the series' focus on travel, life experience, nature, green energy, and sustainable living practices is quite entertaining. Some critics have questioned the validity of the health and science information. Well, of course. 1 week, eggs are good for you. The next week, they're bad for you. 1 week, coffee's good for you. The next week, it's the worst thing you could have. Right? So, of course, health and science information is constantly being talked about, debated, all that good stuff. 85% audience score. All critics, 71%. I think that's fair. I enjoyed it. I watched a couple episodes on a plane going home, which was super cool. I think Zac did a great job with it. But yeah, it kind of reminded me of that. Brief history of the future, what it means to be human. In a world where we seem to have less and less in common with our neighbors, it's crucial to focus on what we share. So here's an easy one. We're all human. I mean, yeah. But wait, what does that mean? Beyond the biological definition of the species, do any 2 people really have anything in common just because they're both human? What does it take to be human anyway? A Brief History of the Future, unique documentary series hosted by renowned futurist Ari Wallach. Ari unites perspectives from different fields, professions, geographic locations, and walks of life to explore being human. From art to architecture, there are plenty of ways to think about our shared humanity and what that means for the future we're building together. Deals with more than just the definition of humanity. It also looks at definition changes over time and why it will play a huge role in shaping our shared future. Is that the one where Zac Efron cried eating pasta? I think so. I think so. Because Hollywood diets means he rarely has carbs. I'm pretty sure. And they also did like a water, like drinking test or something. I don't know. Oh, yeah. It showed him refilling water bottles around a city. I think it was Paris, maybe. And he thought that was really cool. In the show, Ari explores why these 3... I totally forgot about that. I think that is in there. As Ari discovers in episode 1, a certain part of the brain, the medical prefrontal cortex, activities where you think about yourself, but when asked to think about their future selves, participants in a neuroscientific study showed less activity in the cortex. In fact, those results had more in common with thinking about an entirely different person. What does that say about your perception to identity? If you think of your future self as being someone else, you might make different decisions about their well-being. that can have a huge impact on the person you become, not to mention the people around you. That's part of another concept, long-term thinking. In the show, Ari handles this idea from the perspective of a futurist, considering what can happen when we expand our definition of humanity to include people and experiences that may not exist for years or even decades. Long-term thinking can help bridge the gap between present and future you, but it isn't the only way to understand what being human really means. Well, yeah, you don't want to think so far ahead towards future people that you lose track of the present, right? You don't want to harm the present too much in trying to make the world a better place for the future people. Otherwise, you might really struggle and it might not be worth it. You don't know. That's kind of the crazy thing about the future is we don't know what's going to happen. Although it's kind of exciting too, you know? A little excitement there. The fact that, you know, the world is what we make of it. And what we do, our decisions mean something. Wallach is the founder and executive director of LongPath, an initiative fostering long-term thinking and behavior in the individual, organizational, and societal realms. Focuses on giving individuals a greater sense of agency over their futures and helping society at large to tackle its wicked problems. Then again, I'm going to say it. Who is he to decide what the wicked problems are? Who makes that choice? Wallach was born in Guadalajara, Mexico, where his father, Raul, a Polish Holocaust survivor, a member of the Jewish underground in World War II. Eventually, the family moved to San Francisco Bay Area, where he was raised. Majored in peace and conflict studies at UC Berkeley. Mother is a Bay Area artist. Wallach's career has ranged from work in the media, government, various creative fields. Obviously, he has quite a bit of political work in his past. A lot of political work in his past, which I'm sure dictates what he sees for the future, etc. If you're that entrenched in politics, chances are it has a pretty big grip over what you're looking at, what you're thinking, etc. One thing I kind of stay away from a little bit. I think it's wise to just dip your toe into it every now and then, but to be just completely encapsulated in it is going to drive you nuts. In April 2024, Wallach hosted a 6-part documentary on PBS called A Brief History of the Future. I think it's fascinating to... Oh, wow. There's no actual birthday there. Just a year. Interesting. I think it is fascinating to think about the future, obviously. But it's also important to keep an eye on the present. What is the current situation? You don't want to get so lost in the future that you lose track of what's going on currently. Do I think it's smart to think about long-term and behavioral impacts and all that stuff? Yes, I do. But then again, you don't want to make life so intolerable that the current people here don't like it. Because if there's one thing about human nature that I know for a fact, is that if people get too uncomfortable, they will revolt. We have seen it over and over again. You can only push so far, and then people kind of have like a internal mechanism where they start getting together, they start talking about you, and yeah, it can get really ugly. So I think pushing for it is a good idea, bringing it up, topics of conversation, but where rubber meets the road, a lot of it is just theory, right? A lot of it's just talk, and it's kind of hard to move people in one direction because people are very individualistic in a lot of ways. You know, we are our own people. No one's quite like you. 100%. And I think if you try to get too aggressive with it, you're going to run into some problems. Big problems. It can get ugly pretty fast. But, yeah, humans are weird. We are capable of great things, and we are also capable of very destructive things. And, yeah, it just comes down to each of us, what we decide to do in our day-to-day lives. I think the idea that we would all just come together, all the countries, all the leaders, and would just push towards one goal, I think that is wishful thinking. I don't think it'll ever happen because people are different. Different cultures, different mindsets, different priorities. It's a good goal, but yeah, there's always going to be issues, whether it's people disagreeing with each other based off of principle or based off of you're different than us. We're going to have issues. Yeah, humans are weird, very hard to judge, and very hard to work together to complete a common goal. Because there's always going to be people that hold out. Always. I mean, how many of us have done a group project at school and, one person doesn't participate, one person actively wants to do something else, one person skates by, doesn't really do anything, one person takes the lead, does all the work. Like, group projects at school are just a microcosm of the world. I think that's absolutely true. It's hard enough to get one whole country agreeing on an issue. Exactly, Jace. It is so hard. And just, you know what? Think about your family. How hard is it to get everybody to think about the same thing the same way? Just in a family sense. Or like even a friend. That's two people. It's so hard to get to think about the same way, the same thing. Good luck. Good luck out there. Future is going to be interesting. Am I excited for the future? Yes. I think it has a lot of possibilities, infinite possibilities, for good, for great. But we have to be realistic. There's a lot of possibility for destruction and pain, suffering. That's just a fact of life. There's no point in time when it was just perfect. Everything was perfect. People were perfect. Times were perfect. It's not a reality. And I choose to live in reality. Bridgerton TikToks. We're going to end it here with Bridgerton TikToks compilation to watch while we wait for season 4. This is actually a compilation put together by our own Luke, who is a Discord mod and also a mod here on Twitch, and also a ToddReacts.com member. Let's go ahead and jump in. Enough of my rambling. Hopefully it was sentient thoughts. I'm assuming there's a lot of points in Bridgerton. Oh, wait a minute.
There is a saying amongst our fair ton, no one attracts notice like
There we go.
Bridgerton.
There we go. I think that counts. I'm sure there's a lot of interesting interpersonal relationships on Bridgerton. Judgment, gossip. How to tell them apart. Yeah.
Mother.
Oh! I'm delighted.
Luke seems
for you
very
both.
understanding. Oh, One Direction.
Swift because you... Are you going to duel with your own brother?
I actually heard Niall sing this live. Super cool.
We can do to help. Would you mind asking whoever is playing downstairs to quieten them down so I might hear?
I can try, but is that not in fact?
I must say, all those piano lessons in Bath have reaped their reward. You've gotten rather good.
I'm going to try to refill this water without spilling. Wish me luck.
Oh, that's bad.
Nailed it.
You notice, Cole? The twinkle of the candles. It is
It's as if we sit among the stars.
What is wrong with you?
I was just telling Benedict how brilliant the stars were in Greece.
Whenever, wherever, we're meant to be together. I'll be there and you'll be near, and that's the deal, my dear.
Dear reader, you will stay on to enjoy them with me as we begin this next part of our journey. Yours truly, Penelope Bridgerton.
A little reveal. I'm sure that gave Penelope a lot of voice that she might not have had or didn't think she had.
Sparkling.
Nice how they gave the spoiler warning at the beginning. Gosh, I love the costumes. Just amazing. Love period pieces for that reason. It's just such a different time.
Tell me what you're reading.
Okay.
ever let me miss her masquerade ball.
Last but not. I will be there, hiding out behind a mask.
That was almost. That was close.
A new perspective, yes? Dancing? With who?
Anthony.
Hi, Sim! Come down here and do me the honour.
If she gets to dance, so do I.
Brother! Thought all of the young ladies are cute.
Not particularly. All the young ladies are the same, young ladies. No time!
That seems like a really sweet sibling relationship. That seems really
all
sweet.
of the things you have written about me and my family.
Look, please.
I knew something was wrong. Stupidly, I blamed myself, as if I was undeserving of your love. But you are the one that is at fault.
Ooh.
I will never forgive you.
Dang. That was brutal. Said in such a beautiful way, too.
Oh, yes, I had it planned in detail.
The end of that song, though. That one was close. It was flirting with it.
How bad could I possibly be? Let's see. All the customers are buying, and the money's multiplying, and the PR people are lying, and the lawyers are denying. Who cares if a few trees are dying? This is also gratifying. Help!
What?
Over and over, I keep going over the world we knew. Days when you used to.
That was Queen Charlotte's show, I'm assuming. It was such a wild show. I reacted to the first episode on the website. And you're just thinking like, oh, this is going to be sweet. And then it just goes so sour, so quick.
The sun counting stars.
I bet their friendship being repaired is probably one of the most interesting parts of season 3.
I was not expecting to see you till later.
Just from an outsider perspective.
You don't have to hide your eyes.
Certainly we should not be having this discussion in front of Miss Bridgerton.
She knows everything as well.
And why do we all suddenly know that we know?
Because Chris had discovered my secret. You were the truest friend I've ever known, Elle. It's torture not being by your side this season.
We meet on these swings to be
entirely confused together.
As I've said before, these swing moments seem so amazing. You don't think about it with, you know, certainly people of high society.
That second-born sons have all the
But
fun.
seeing them dressed to the nines
Such
and the
is certainly
tens,
the case
sitting
for
on
Benedict
wood swings,
Bridgerton this season,
just kind of
now
brings
that
them
the
back
Ton has set their
to
sights
childhood.
on the Viscount. This author must wonder, how does the second Bridgerton choose to bide his time?
There's a spark in you, you just gotta ignite the light and let it shine. Just on the night, like the 4th of July. 'Cause baby,
If it was ever worth the risk, well, you are the only exception. You are the only exception. You
Add it.
the only exception. You are the only exception.
By the beauty of that giant feather, I cannot wait to wear one.
Hyacinth and Anthony. Obviously, a lot of people enjoy their conversations and whatnot.
Afternoon. Just there.
Brother, afternoon. Where were you?
Nowhere. What are you reading?
Nothing.
I don't think I've seen a lot of them together.
Brother, afternoon. Where were you?
Nowhere. What are you reading?
Nothing.
Good afternoon. Just there.
Brother, afternoon. Where were you?
Nowhere. What are you reading?
Nothing.
Are we stuck in a loop? What's happening? Is it Groundhog Day? Okay. We're out. We're out of the loop. Something done, repeat. Pretty sure we saw 3 in a row there. Possibly even 4.
Come now, I merely simpered and minced in a pretty dress like everyone else.
Not exactly like everyone else.
Freedom.
Penelope. Their presentation was anything but... What was it the Queen called you again?
Flawless. Cannot be any more different.
Take anyone with her, Gregory. It will be me.
But there is one thing we do share. The certainty that you will make your own way in this world.
You know what's interesting? There's like a delay. I'm assuming the messages are still very delayed.
You sit about writing nothing.
But it's showing up at the same time in the Twitch chat
What an officious little busybody you are.
for me. I don't know what's going on.
I think Eloise would make a brilliant diamond.
I could not agree more, Hyacinth. Perhaps Her Majesty will take note at her ball tomorrow night. I despise you.
No, you're fine.
Ladies.
I'm just trying to figure out what's
And
happening.
More ladies.
They've taken to hunting in packs.
Proportion.
Lady Bridgeton. Yes.
To call upon one of your daughters. Are you all right?
Should I not speak to him? I thought one had to use wit or banter to dissuade a suitor, but simple silence is radically more effective.
Are you escorting me tonight?
More like using you as a shield. Hesitating, huh?
I do not hesitate.
And yet, here we are waiting. But how will they know each other if they do not speak?
Now you hesitate.
I should like to trade.
We're not ready?
Seduction first. How dashing.
Is that? Oh gosh, what's his name? George?
Lord Samadani, welcome. Our cook has prepared some millefeuille in anticipation of your arrival.
Hyacinth, this is not Lord Samadani.
I'm scared to be alone, so I'm thankful for my sister, even though sometimes we fight. When high school wasn't easy, she's the reason I survived. I know she never leave me, and I hate to see her cry, so I wrote this verse to tell her that I'm always by her side. I wrote this verse to tell her that I'm always by her side. I wrote this verse to tell her that.
If such a thing were happening in my home, I would know of it. And I would have put a stop to it a long time ago.
She knows. She knows.
This is such a perfect song for this video. It's crazy.
Excuse me.
Mr. Bridgerton is here.
Bridgerton, what an unexpected
That look too. Oh my
I will
gosh.
not be staying long. But since we are all speaking so freely,
That was not meant for your ears.
I am still speaking. Your daughter did not entrap me. I proposed to her out of love, nothing less. And were you not so narrowly concerned over your own standing, you might see that Penelope is the most eligible amongst you. In the future, I advise you not to sully our Bridgerton name by suggesting otherwise.
All right, Colin. Wow.
My brave, clever girl. You are already so wise beyond your years. I think you'll do very well in Scotland.
You're upset about me leaving.
No, of course not. But you will come back.
I'm gone. Thankfully, Omar did not abandon me. And I shall not abandon you.
Is that a threat?
I love Lord Kilmartin. And I plan to marry him. With Your Majesty's blessing, of course.
Ooh, do love interest?
Oh, we get Benedict and Eloise.
That's so cool. I love that.
I think it rather ordinary, in fact, that I find myself yet again swinging to and fro, not moving in any particular direction.
Where's it you wish you were going?
For now, I
To Sir Philip
my
Creighton.
family until this whistle-down business with the Queen blows over.
And it will. And then?
To Sir Philip Creighton's estate.
Anywhere, really. I've spent nearly all of my life in either Mayfair or at Aubrey Hall. If I'm going to attempt to make change in the world, certainly I shall need to see some of it first. Meet people who are not my family or debutantes in the marriage mart.
You wish to change the world again? I thought you were more interested in fitting in this year.
I think I'm properly done with all of that.
There she is.
It's your silence betray that you know something I do not?
No, certainly not. Believe me, the more I learn, the more I realize how little I know. It feels right now that the next thing I might learn may change me entirely.
I agree profoundly with everything you have said, as I have absolutely no idea what you are talking about.
There's one thing I do know. We should not let so long pass again between us. We meet on these swings to be entirely confused together.
It's so heartwarming because you can tell they put down their defenses. They're not in society. They're just hanging out on swings, having a real heart-to-heart.
Believe me, the more I learn, the more I realize how little I know.
It's such a beautiful moment on the swings.
It feels right now that the next thing I might learn may change me entirely.
I agree profoundly with everything you have said, as I have absolutely no idea what you are talking about.
I hope every character gets that kind of vulnerable.
There's one thing I do know.
It's a good way to progress the character and also get a glimpse inside their own
we meet on these
psyche.
To be entirely confused together.
I look after you.
Lovely, dear. They look like a prize calf trussed up for auction.
Spoke with such feeling to
I do not need feeling.
see it in decades.
Oh,
Oh,
Benedict, dear.
Magical, brother. Come, sister. The cakes at these occasions are surprisingly good.
What of us, brother? Should we also be polished and braided for the big day?
I got it!
It would be a boon to have another intelligent woman in the house.
Another? You're overcounting.
Penelope's mamma is forcing her to go, and you've wanted me to find more ladylike pursuits.
You shall all bear witness to my talent!
It's the middle of the night.
I don't know what's going on, but that's amazing.
About flower arranging.
I'm an open-minded woman. I can care about many things.
I'm honored to accept your acceptance.
If the Queen in fact names Eloise the diamond, whom will you marry then, brother?
Hush you.
Do you know why I win every time? Because every time you lose, you claim we cheated.
I did not say that.
Oh,
But you thought it.
Every rose does have its thorn, after all.
Of course, the only
Byron. Did I strike you much harder than I realised earlier? Have you found a wife yet? Or are you planning to offend every young girl until there are none left? Is mother aware? Leave must get you to the doctor post-haste. This strange, fuzzy growth on your chin is no doubt some kind of disease. I was painting that. I just hope for Edwina's sake the tendency stops before the honeymoon.
Mother, please.
That's amazing.
So loud.
Whatever you have done to your brother, undo it.
It's a simple remedy. If you continue to drink, there can be no after effects.
Although soon enough, we
I
will have
mean,
a tiny Anthony
that's
to
true.
contend with,
Hair of the
running
dog.
around, declaring all of his tiny duties too, no doubt.
It's been known as the greatest
How long
hangover
must I stay
cure.
like this? Does the Duchess not care for your bride, brother?
Perhaps he's still waiting at the altar for Miss Edwina.
Appetites, like brute beasts.
I can't say I've ever done that much though. When I'm
Do you do this every
struggling, typically I go towards like food and water and whatnot. But
We sit among the stars.
What is wrong with you?
although I will say, there's been times where I've had good food after being hungover, and it makes it worse. What is that? Like the body's trying to digest it and just, oh God, can't handle it.
You come to be with child.
I'm like, oh, I just need to eat something, and then you eat something, and you're just like, oh, I feel
Never visited a
worse.
farm. How did I get you? Take our sticks out.
Colin Bridgeton.
A round of fencing.
Go dance with your sister. Why? Because I asked you to.
Me?
I should not know how to do it.
You believe I should?
You really? Good God, did someone die?
No thanks to you, idiot.
What the hell do you think you're playing at?
Says the man who just shot at me.
You just rode into the middle of a duel. Go dance with your sister. Why? Because I asked you to.
I'm confused. You quite well, brother.
Tally.
Why do you think I followed you into that garden?
Do you think
week I went into that garden. If you would have only looked at me this week for longer than 2 seconds, you would have seen. It is you I cannot sacrifice. I burn for you.
I love you. I've loved you from the moment we raced each other in that
for
park.
you.
I've loved you
Good
at every
one.
dance, on every walk, every time we've been together, and every time we've been apart. You do not have to accept it. You do not have to embrace it, or even allow it. Knowing you probably will not, but you must know it. In your heart. You must feel it, because I do. I love you. See.
I do not know what to say.
You do not have to say anything.
I do not think there is anything else to say. Other than I love you too.
I will stand with you between the heavens and the earth. I will tell you where you are. Do you love me?
I love you! From the moment I saw you trying to go over the wall, I have loved
was a good
you
moment.
desperately. I cannot breathe
It was
when
a
you are
very
not
sweet
near.
moment.
I love you, Charlotte.
That was a super sweet moment, actually.
Ever since I found out you were Whistledown, I've done everything I can to try to separate you from her. But the other day, I went back and read all of the letters you have sent me. Your letters have always been the ones I'm most eager to read, and I realized you are her. You have always had one voice. There is no separating you from Whistledown. And after seeing you speak today, well, I would not want to. Because forgive me, but that was bloody brilliant. I think in truth, I've been envious of you. Of your
Oh, wow.
success. Of your bravery. And now I simply cannot believe that a woman with such bravery loves me. How lucky I am to stand by your side and soak up even a little bit of your light. If my only purpose in life is to love a woman as great as you, then I will be a very fulfilled man indeed.
I
love you.
Whoa.
You're a very good man, Mr. Bridgeton.
Knocked that one right out of the park.
I love you.
That was a good one.
Now, will you please do me the honor of joining me on the dance floor, Mrs. Bridgerton?
That very much reminds me of Thomas Rhett's country song, I guess you could call it. It's not really country music, but it's called Die a Happy Man. Very similar to those words and sentiment. Wow, those were some good love declarations indeed. Those were nice. I would say the Anthony one was pretty good. Probably one of the best. Colin, though, that was very nice. That was extremely nice. Link down below to the original video. Go check it out. Check out the channel as well. It's Luke's channel. Many good videos, so check them out. Reevaluating standards now. Indeed, setting those as high as can be. Oh my gosh. That was a long video, but I think extremely good. We had a little loop in there, like the middle part, but we broke free. Let's go ahead and look at somebody's season 3 review thoughts, brief thoughts. Makeup department did Colin dirty. His makeup looked caked on. Naoui was gorgeous. You know what's funny? I saw a video of the actress that plays Penelope, and she said that, I can't remember, it was like a floral yellow dress that she was wearing. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but she said it smelled terrible. Like the materials on it were just awful. I just found that to be so funny because now I just think whenever I see her in it, like, oof, that dress just smells bad. Way too fast. I didn't believe in their story like I did Kate and Anthony, and while Daphne and Simon relationship should not be placed on any pedestal, the pacing of that season was far superior. The lack of chemistry was insane. I think it had more so to do with the writing and the show's pacing rather than the actors themselves. I found Benedict to be far more interesting than the main two characters. I wish they would have given Penelope and Colin more time to develop as side characters before giving them the full spotlight. You know what? I kind of think that's a good idea. Considering the fact that they started off the season, I'm pretty sure with that comment by Colin about Penelope, like, I'll never get with her or whatever. By trying to jam that into this season, trying to come back from that and then fall in love and then, work through that, it was probably too much to condense. The threesome in between the pollen scenes, huh? I wish Colin would have groveled longer. Penelope deserved to be chased more. That probably has something to do with just the length of the season and trying to fit it all in and cutting out all that groveling scenes that probably should have happened, especially after that comment. I mean, good grief. I want whatever Kate's having. I wanted to see more fire from her, but I get it. That's their honeymoon phase. That's all, folks. I'm still going to watch part 2. Okay, so those were thoughts in part 1. So yeah, it was really condensed. If they somehow got together or got close from I never want to be with her to that declaration of love within the first part, hopefully the declaration didn't happen in the first part. But if it did, that is fast. I'm assuming it happened in the second part. Hopefully. I don't understand this mentality that Colin should have groveled or chased Penn more. The guy made one bad comment. When he realized he hurt her and made a mistake, he immediately apologized, was willing to help her get what she wants. And it's not like he lied about can't have kids or almost married her sister. You guys only have this energy for Colin. 319 upvotes. Somebody responded, people feel this way not because Colin did anything morally wrong, but because the pollen dynamic has been lopsided their whole lives. Yeah, she was kind of like into him and he wasn't really into her, I'm assuming. So yeah, that would make sense that you would kind of grow that feeling towards her for a little bit longer time. It isn't wrong that Colin barely suffers on screen between realizing he likes Penelope and getting engaged to her, but it is unromantic. It's probably just due to time constraints, right? Simon and Anthony were manifestly obsessed with Daphne and Kate, even while denying it to Daphne and Kate themselves. There's the romance. The effed up things that they do around those feelings are almost irrelevant to the romantic appeal, because in a romance, the F-ups are fictional. The feelings are the point. Generally, women who watch straight romances prefer a hero who yearns for the heroine and chases her. I guess it's not as romantic if you have to ask to be loved. Yeah, I could see where being asked to be loved. Didn't we just freaking watch this on Thursday with, Grey's Anatomy? And her going, love me. I can't remember the rest of the words. Where she had that like proclamation to McDreamy or McSteamy. I can't remember the words. McDreamy, I think. Where she was just declaring, I want you to love me, basically. I agree. I just wish we had more pollen scenes where we see him not groveling, but silently yearning for her. Considering it is their season, we do see it, but it's only a handful of scenes. Yeah, I guess pick me. Yes, pick me, love me, that stuff. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, It's got to be time constraints because they started the season with her extremely hurt and probably hating the dude from loving him from afar. And then he had to go 180 degrees to loving her. Like, that is a lot to put into one half of a season. I think our perception and years of waiting is ruining it for us. In a few days, watch it from the beginning and see how they melt together. It did feel rushed in a lot of ways, but in some it didn't. Watching it the first time I was disappointed, but then watching it again, pausing and rewinding. I like rewinding. Oh my gosh. I liked it a lot. We're missing half the show still. I think it will flow better. Yeah. I think if it's rushed, it's going to feel rushed no matter what. And I absolutely hated the second threesome scene, but now I started rewatching some scenes and I'm still liking it. Editing was atrocious. I think it had a huge factor in my viewer experience. I feel like the pacing is what's giving people the impression that Colin and Penn didn't have enough screen time, to be honest. Actually, I feel like they got plenty of screen time, but because of the pacing, it feels so awkward. It feels like knowing nothing has really happened. I don't think they needed to get together in episode 4. They could have played it out until 6. Yeah, that's probably true. They probably wanted to get them into a relationship as quickly as possible. And maybe episode 4 was just too soon from where they started. Kate looked so effing good. She stole the show. Lack of chemistry for who? Colin? Did we watch the same show? First kiss was so damn perfect. Well, I guess, different strokes for different folks. Long rant post ahead. Oh my gosh. Unnecessary side plots. This review says Bridgerton season 3 gives more than what you need and less of what you want. Provides a less than satisfying continuation of the beloved series. When I finally got the chance to press play on the first 4 episodes, I thought I knew what to expect. Season 3 focuses on Penelope, played by Nicola, as she blossoms into Mayfair society for a third and final time. She holds high hopes of marrying. Enter Colin, longtime friend and longer time unrequited love. Let's see. Season 3 struggled to reconcile past and present threads. By the time I sat down to watch episode 5 through 8, I was mostly sure that everything had happened in episodes 1 through 4. Plot seemed finished. In this season, pacing poses a big problem. Oh, okay. So now we have somebody who writes for a publication writing a review that's mimicking the opinions we saw on that Reddit post. So pacing seems to be kind of a consensus issue. Obviously there's people that don't agree with that, but it seems like there's decent pull for that. Season 3 has too many cooks in the Bridgerton kitchen. Oversaturation of the season with main characters meant B plots, C plots, D plots, many of which resolved with little to no effect on the circumstances of the greater story arc. All the while, our A plot gets lost. Colin and Penelope feel much like the supporting characters we watched in seasons 1 and 2, despite being central into the story. In the rush and resolution of their story, the audience is unable to truly connect to their development as a couple. Moments of tension and uncertainty feel inorganic at best and unnecessary at worst. Yikes. Obviously, it gets into some of the style. I'm not going to understand what's going on in this. Penelope and Colin publicly stroll without the presence of a chaperone with little to no consequence. 2 seasons earlier, the mere rumor of Daphne alone with her love interest was a great pressing threat. Oh, it seems like they kind of laxed a little bit on some of these social rules when they shouldn't have. As a viewer, I spent more time adjusting to the show's new reality and admiring elaborate wardrobes than I did investing in the development of relationships and characters. When the established rules of society are blatantly violated or ignored, it's difficult to establish meaningful stakes. Oh yeah, if you spent the whole first season like hush hush, we got to meet in secret and all that stuff, and then you just have Colin and Penelope. I get it; they're longtime friends, so probably people don't see them like that. But after they become a thing and everyone starts to know and the rumor spreads, then you should start to see that, not walking around without a chaperone thing, I'm assuming. If I had to chalk up these missteps to one culprit, I'd point the finger at fan service. It's clear that the winks and nods to the show's source material were littered throughout for the most attentive and dedicated fans. Specific line here is nostalgic anecdote there. In this season's adherence to the specificities of this book series, it creates moments of interest for only a select few. A dialogue that is otherwise flat and seemingly random without context weighs down the already jam-packed narrative. Wraps up as expected, especially given the number of loose ends there were to tie. Season 3 left me wanting. Hopefully season 4 will cut its laundry list of narratives through a center on the central couple. Yikes. Got a little too big for its britches, I think. Interesting takes. Obviously, I haven't seen the season. I haven't seen the show. But I can see that happening. Obviously, every season isn't going to be as good as the next. That's kind of how shows go, right? There's always a little dip here and there, especially as, writers shift out into other projects. They hire new writers. The story goes on. Different interpretations of it. It just is what it is. Do I think the love story was kind of rushed, maybe? Probably. Yeah. Especially if they were having their first kiss in episode 4 after they had quite a end to season 3. It seems like that might have been, I don't know, maybe they could have taken longer to just address it. As a lot of people were saying, maybe there should have been a little more groveling, a little bit of yearning from Colin. Like maybe Penn doesn't talk to him or she avoids him and he's just, you kind of see him moping around, checking in on her, talking to other people about her, that kind of thing. Some ideas. I wasn't consulted. But anyway, those are 5 amazing videos. I hope you enjoyed stream. Go ahead and follow if you're watching on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free and awesome. And subscribe to your favorite channels. Very cool. You never lose track. It's just easy to keep track of what videos are new, etc. You can get notifications if you turn it on. Turn on the notifications and then make sure it's on for the app itself. Go ahead and check out the summer collection of merch, toddreacts.com. If you want to request your own videos, you like what you saw here, and you're like, you know what? I know the perfect video. It's about this thing I don't think he's ever seen before. Go ahead and join toddreacts.com. The season and series tiers are where you request, and you can check it out. Go ahead and join the Discord as well. It's free. The link is everywhere. It's on the website at the top. It's under every video on YouTube. It's on the Twitch profile. It is everywhere. So go ahead and join the Discord. Great people in there. Such an amazing community. We are growing by the day. Happy to see new faces in there always. And yeah, I look forward to your offerings into the conversations. Did I forget anything? I don't think I did. Anyway, I will see you all on Thursday. I hope you have a terrific Tuesday and a wonderful Wednesday. Take care of yourselves. Be well. Tell your loved ones you love them. All that good stuff. And yeah, I shall see you on Thursday. Until then, I'll see you in the Discord. How about that? Bye-bye.